I love survival games. But before I make one, what kind of a survival game should I make? I really like games that are 3D first person like Minecraft and Rust. I played Rust for around 3000 hours, and while it is very fun, it's very PvP based, and Minecraft is more casual. So I wanted to make a game that is in a middle ground between the two. I've started using Godot for about a year now, and in that time I made some small projects to learn the engine. I already had some experience making games with Unity, and I knew how to program in Python, so I've learned to use Godot pretty quickly. After I felt ready to make my first commercial game, my idea for the game was this. After World War III, people felt the government had let them down. Revolts broke out worldwide, throwing everything into chaos. Stranded in the Middle East, your goal now is simply to survive. The game is going to be a 3D first person with co-op, with the art style going to look not so realistic but will resemble real places. First, I wanted to make the basic systems that the game would be dependent on, such as the movement system, inventory system, health, food and water system, weapon system, crafting, building, etc. Then I wanted to create some models to see roughly how the game would look like. Of course, it's going to look better in the final product, and some of the models that you see here will change, but still I wanted to roughly see how it would look like. I would also like to talk about the use of assets. I personally don't like using someone else's assets because most of the time you could notice when other assets are used, but with that in mind, making a game entirely by one person without any help from assets would take a lot longer. In this project I decided that I'll make all of the code and models myself, but I will use some texture and sound assets because these are the areas I lack experience with. You could see in the background a showcase of the game system so far. Because this is mainly a prototype, there's no polish in how the game looks and feels. I also started working on the AI enemy in the game. There's going to be factions of AIs in the game that the player could fight with, and how the enemy works is by patrolling in an area. If he sees the player, he'll shoot at him, and if the player runs away from the enemy will go to the last position he saw the player at. If the player doesn't show up after a while, the enemy will go back to patrolling. Finally, I worked on the main menu of the game. I'll finish the video here, but before I do, please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on news about the game. In the next video, I will do a playtest for the game, so you don't want to miss that. Anyways, bye bye.